Hello, sir. Yeah.
Sir, good evening.
Good evening, all. Good
We are
evening,
live.
everybody.
We are live.
Yes. Thank you very much, Dr. Nilesh. Good evening, everyone. Today we are organizing again second day of our webinar of Indian Society for Veterinary Medicine. I do request Dr. R. Ramprabhu, sir, General Secretary of Indian Society for Veterinary Medicine, to brief about today's webinar. Ramprabhu, sir, please.
Good evening, everyone, and a warm welcome to Naresh, Rakha, and other participants for today's webinar. So, today's the topic for the webinar is veterinary medicine and artificial intelligence. So, Dr. Naresh Rakha has done a lot of works both in the veterinary college as well as now in IIT in artificial intelligence. So definitely the lecture will be on the participants of the program. I welcome Naresh Rakha and all the participants to today's webinar. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Ramprabhu, sir. I would like to introduce about today's speaker. Today, Professor. Excuse me, Nilesh, there is a
sound. Please correct it, sir. Echo sound.
Echo sound is there.
Sir, now unmute yourself, sir. Sir, unmute yourself. Dr. Galdhar, we are not able to hear.
Yeah.
Okay. Dr. Rakha, sir, please unmute yourself, sir.
Yes, I've already muted myself.
Okay. I am introducing to today's speaker, Professor Naresh Rakha is currently working as Senior Scientific Officer at Indian Institute of Technology, Ropar. He has completed his PhD from England and PDF from Japan. Sir had brilliant academic record with several outstanding scholarly distinctions. He has contributed to science of parasitic immunology, received national as well as international recognition. Sir has started his professional career as assistant scientist at Department of Veterinary Medicine, HAU Hisar. After that, he went to do doctoral studies at University of Liverpool, England. As a senior assistant scientist, he served HAU Hisar for 5 years. Under the World Bank funded project of ICAR, Sir was deputed to work class laboratory ILRI Nairobi, and subsequently he made in charge Central Laboratory of AICRP on blood protozoa. It was an honor to him when selected by Government of India for prestigious JSPS PDF, which he held from 1997 to 1998. Sir has delivered number of motivational lectures guiding youth for career and academic choice and counseling to develop a personal soft skill in his passion. Today, Indian Society for Veterinary Medicine inviting him for a new topic in our veterinary medicine subject. It is related with the veterinary medicine and artificial intelligence. So I request Rakha sir to proceed for his webinar. Rakha sir, please.
Hello, good evening to everyone. Please confirm whether I'm audible and visible. Hello.
Clear?
Yes, sir, audible and visible. Yes.
Okay. It's really my privilege to address the highly scientific and very intelligent scientific community in the Department of Veterinary Medicine and allied subjects also. I have been listening to yesterday and other lectures of organized by ISVM, and ISVM is doing a human service to the humanity and particularly to the veterinary profession at large. I'm so proud that I'm part of this webinar today, and I would like to talk about veterinary medicine and artificial intelligence. I know all the audience here are really highly intelligent. They have their own skills and their own profiles. And I'm not talking about human intelligence now. So we'll be talking about artificial intelligence and how it can help veterinary medicine. So to share, can I share my presentation?
Third button, sir. Third button.
Third button. Okay.
Third
Share.
button.
Okay. Is anything visible off my screen?
Still not, sir.
Okay.
Kindly click on the third button, share content.
Okay.
Yes, sir. It's now going to start.
Is
It's
it
blank
visible?
now. Sir, now your desktop is visible. Now please open the
Okay.
presentation, sir.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, sir. Now, yes, sir. It's visible now clearly.
Okay. Okay. Great. Good. And this window, where should I put this window?
Naresh, please help.
Okay. I don't know what has happened.
Naresh,
Hello.
Yes,
Naresh,
sir,
please
everything
help,
okay,
sir.
sir. Everything okay, sir.
Okay,
You can
okay.
start.
Slides are not proceeding.
Yes, sir.
Pardon? Okay.
Sir,
Okay. Yes. Okay. Coming to my topic of today's presentation is veterinary medicine and artificial intelligence. In fact, first half of the presentation topic, veterinary medicine, I'm not going to talk anything. Whatever presentation is like, what is artificial intelligence, how it can be implied, what are the motivations of this thing. Just to define the intelligence as the ability to acquire and apply the knowledge and skills. If I say Dr. Ramprabhu is intelligent person, I mean he has lot of experience. His brain has lot of information, lot of data, and that brain is capable of analyzing it and then forcing or extrapolating. Okay, when I'm going to make this decision, these are the factors, and I will make the decision. And the decision is good, then public says, "Oh, that is very." Acquiring the information, processing in our brain, and then extrapolating for the future actions. So that's exactly what we are going to do in our artificial intelligence, that refers to simulation of human intelligence in machines whose goals are again the same three steps: learning, reasoning, perception, and then making the decision. Why artificial intelligence is being worked upon, and last 4-5 years there have been tremendous progress in this area. At IIT Ropar also has one AI center in collaboration with Taiwan, and other countries are going up for the artificial intelligence work with IIT Ropar. Why there is so much stress on that? Only simple thing is that we humans are really have the natural, but our brain functioning is such that many times we miss some information and our decision becomes wrong. All of us know how to drive. And many times we are driving, okay, we are driving perfectly, but a little silly mistake and we end up in a bad situation. The best example to give here about the artificial intelligence are those computers which are fitted in the self-driving cars. And these computers, they consider the consequences of any action it takes, as each action will impact the end result. If a car is moving and other cars are also on the same road on the opposite direction also, and it is very likely that some objects on the side or in the front or with the other cars or other vehicles. So this car, which is empowered by an artificial intelligence computer, so it sends signals to all the direction, measures the distances, and sees the direction of other vehicles coming towards that car, and then makes a decision, okay, it should go straight, right way or left way. Simple thing is, if you tell the computer that it has, the car should go, keep to the left only, as in European or Indian, car will keep to the left only. But say, for example, if some truck or some vehicle has gone hayward and is moving to different directions, and if our car goes to left only, is going to have a collision. But this car now has artificial intelligence. It's measuring and predicting how this vehicle on the road which has gone astray is going to behave or going to move. So that type of information, when computer makes the decision, it's called art. Car is will not be going to straight on the left side. It can go to the right side. It can make a U-turn. It can go to like a serpentine way, so that it avoids the risk of colliding with other vehicle on the road. So that part, when car makes pardon? Hello?
Sound is not coming.
What happened? I don't know.
Sir, sound is not coming, sir.
No, sir, please continue. Continue. Some disturbance from outside. Please ask all to mute.
Hello?
Yes, sir. Please continue, sir.
Okay, am I audible now?
You can continue, sir.
Yes, sir.
Audible, sir.
Thank you, sir. And best example of artificial intelligence in the machine, in the deep learning of the machine, is like example of self-driving car, where the computer considers various factors from outside, takes into account all the external data coming from outside, which is the position of other vehicles, at which speed they are going, which direction they are taking, whether they are going in a right track or going hayward because of some mechanical failure. So all this information is picked up by the computer, and that is analyzed, and then they predict, extrapolate what is going to happen if that particular car continues to go on the same speed and the same direction. So it makes deviation and escapes the possible collision, and that's why the artificial intelligence enabled self and minimum risk of accidents. That's called machine intelligence or artificial intelligence. To the audience is a question: do you know why Facebook promotes posts with your photos? That was my observation. Whenever I put something on the Facebook, if it is motivational story about APJ Abdul Kalam, there will be a very few number of likes on those posts. And then if I put my photo, my family photo, and any photo of any friend or anything, then likes will be like in hundreds and thousands. So I was just wondering why this Facebook is doing, and I talked to one friend who knows. They told that Facebook promotes the photos because they want a data of human faces, and based on those photos which we are sharing on the Facebook to tell our friends and family that we are doing good and we are like this only, that information, that photos are being collected by the Facebook, and then they have developed the face recognition software, that's artificial intelligence. Next time, if Nilesh puts a photo on the Facebook and it has my photo in it, Facebook immediately will come to me and tell Nilesh has tagged you and you are in that photo, confirm it. And then most of the times we'd confirm it, and then Facebook improves its face recognition software. And that's maybe tomorrow they can use it to identify us where we are and where the photos are. Even the location they are identifying. So actually they're encouraging us to put the photos because they need raw data. Face recognition software is being prepared and that's being improved every day. So that comes in the artificial intelligence. So why can't we do things like that to improve our veterinary practice? For example, can we make, even Nilesh can tell me, can we make an app to guide the animal owner as how to take images of animals and affected parts of body? It's a common practice nowadays. Many people, they take the photo of the udder of the cow or the wound of the dog and send a few images to a veterinarian, to a friend. Okay, what should we do? That's coming up in telemedicine nowadays. But many times we do feel as a veterinarian that the right photo of that wound or the udder or the animal is not being taken because he doesn't know how to take the photo. Now we are well aware that when we have a mobile camera in our hand, we want to take a panoramic view, there appears an arrow which directs where should we move the camera and how slowly or how fast we do it. That comes like an artificial intelligence. The smartphone knows better than we, and he directs us which direction we should move the camera and which speed we should use. So such type of information and such type of application can be used for making aware the animal and send us through WhatsApp or email or other social media platforms. I don't think this is going to be a big thing, but that artificial intelligence, a little part of artificial intelligence will save a lot of problems on part of the animal owner who is going to take the photos and to a veterinarian who is going to see those photos and make some sort of decision about the problem of the animal. So this is one just example which I wanted to tell you. If we are on duty as a veterinarian in our clinic, whether it is a large animal clinic or a small animal clinic, an owner is coming to us with the animal. He reports to the desk or reception desk or the registration desk, whatever we call it. Can we do something that some images of that animal are caught automatically by closed CCTV camera or particular cameras fixed at a particular angle? So it takes the photo of that animal from different directions. Then in this application, the owner is requested to put the health complaints, like what is happening, what is the complaint he has observed in the animal. And then the staff over there, if that animal is visiting second time or many times, if there are medical history records available with the clinic, so if the third thing is also put together, so the application, the artificial intelligence enabled IT application can analyze these three things: image caught by the several angles, owner's input about the complaint, and the previous medical history of that particular specific animal. So these things can be analyzed, and then application will will analyze the results and then will flash the information to the veterinarian who is going to attend that animal about whether the condition of the patient or animal is such that it has to be. Then he has the information about the preliminary workout about that animal. Now he has the information given by the application about the probable area of focus, whether it is respiratory distress or it is a digestive problem or a nervous problem. So this application can shortlist those things which need to be investigated and suggest the diagnostic test which can be done. These things are really very possible and practical, and if someone is interested, we can connect to those people who are good in doing these things here at IIT. And we have already talked to people that can we do it, and they said yes, it's possible, but it needs a lot of effort on the part of a veterinarian who can give a lot of data. I don't know what happens. Okay. I'm just wondering, when we had classes in veterinary pathology, practical classes, there were hundreds and thousands of slides our teachers were showing and telling us where to find the lesion which confirm it is FMD or HS, or whether it is trypanosomiasis, trypanosoma organisms, or theileriosis. And they used to take a lot of time to really go to that places. Now, since in medical practice there are a few applications available, we can apply and we can modify those applications to suit our needs. Since the pathology departments have thousands and different slides, those slides can be scanned, put in those applications, and application can be given the information. If such changes are there, it is this thing. If you see some spots like this, what it means, you can tell, a pathologist can tell, and then application will analyze those thousands of images and make an artificial interpretation intelligently. And when you give a slide for screening, it will scan those slides and make the diagnosis and can help a lot in finding out those lesions and the parasites or the other things, or viruses or cells, and whatever we are examining on histopathological examination. The area where I find we can do is artificial intelligence in point of care diagnostics. All our laboratories are well equipped to make diagnosis based on PCR, ELISA, and other tests. But those tests have become really cumbersome, time-consuming, and takes a lot of time to confirm. And the patient or animal can die of the disease unless we attend it immediately. Attending immediately is important. So the importance of the point of care diagnostics. Now, wonderful things have come up. Artificial intelligence for early detection is really very important. We know that once FMD, HS, brucellosis, these acute conditions, when they become so clear, that symptoms are so clear that we can say on the basis of symptoms, it has actually become too late. Already a lot of damage has been caused to different organs, tissues, and the body physiological system. Animal may die, and animal doesn't die and can be treated and cured with our best treatment. There will be some side effects, there will be some deficiencies, there will be some lesions which are permanently handicapping that animal. So issue is that how to detect it very, very early. Artificial intelligence can help a lot, because there are certain softwares in human medicine where health quality, the posture of the animal, the body shape, even the skin texture are analyzed, and they can give the interpretation that this is going to be like FMD or HS or brucellosis or black water or trypanosomiasis. So that will be helping us a lot. Only thing will be, we'll be taking a few snaps of the animal from particular angles as suggested and directed by those particular smart applications. This photo is from a biosensors, and these are not simple strips that we put a blood and change the color. They are actually empowered with some sort of artificial intelligence, that if the color develops to this extent, what is it going to mean? And it gives the interpretation visually. Even the AI can be used for different postural configuration. If the animal is not standing in the right position, is tilting towards one side, keeping the neck towards one side or the upside or downside, or making different movements of the legs or the skin or the tail, what actually it means, the type of data can be given to that application, and that application in future, if there is any animal you want to diagnose the disease, even on the basis of the postal configuration, it can help us in making the diagnosis. Okay, this is like veterinary profession, particularly veterinary medicine. What we need today, I feel we need people who are polymaths, and we need those people to think innovatively. The innovations in healthcare can be on these four broad areas, which I'm going to discuss in the next few slides, is that IT-enabled artificial intelligence applications, data mining, that's a big area. All the clinics throughout India, whether polyclinic or college referral clinics or TVCC, etc., there are a lot of data. Only thing is that we need to organize that data, feed it to digitalize it, and then make applications based on those data. Nanotechnology, we were listening yesterday from that professor of pharmaceutics, is going to help us a lot. We need to introduce that in veterinary medicine as soon as possible. And the next topic I'm going to touch today is state-of-the-art medical. There's one assistant professor, Rajesh, in veterinary physiology in veterinary college at LUVAS. Is he there? Is he there? Okay. Nilesh.
Sir, he is not.
Yes, sir.
Is Rajesh there?
No, sir.
Okay, okay. Am I audible clearly? No issue?
Sir, audible, sir. Dr. Rajesh from which place, sir? I will find out him.
From LUVAS, he's assistant professor in veterinary physiology.
Okay,
And
sir. I will find out him. Okay.
give him the due credit. I want to give him the due credit what he has informed me, and we have started working in that direction. And many of these innovations are credited to animal experimentation. That's our strength as a veterinary medicine professionals, that most of these innovations in human health or animal welfare or human welfare are coming through animal experimentation, we all know. And these innovations can be of great use in changing practice of animal health. See this little hero, starting from 1905, the Nobel Prize winners have worked on this little hero. And see, only a few years will be missing. Otherwise, most of the years, the Nobel Prize for medicine, physiology has gone to the laboratory mouse. And this is our mouse. This is our subject. We are specialists in this. I don't know what is happening.
Curriculum. 1.53. Sing, sir.
Okay. Request everyone to mute their mic. There are many other animals which have been studied as experimental animals or laboratory animals, including the cattle, cats, goats, pigs, rabbits, and these are all our subjects. These are all our clients, and we have been dealing with this. So we stand at a good point that if we want to develop a new medical devices or new medical practice applications, we have a variety of animals which upon which we can work and have a lot of data. So the challenge now is, which I'm putting to everyone, including all the assistant professors or MVSc PhD students attending this webinar, that we all veterinarians should collaborate with experts, those in biomedical engineering, biotechnology, nanotechnology, artificial intelligence, data mining, and making of the app of animals. And then finally, designing the medical devices. That's a challenge. And I think there are capable people in the veterinary medicine departments all over India who can take up and who should take up. We need to bring in fast, reliable, convenient, economical, and effective practices in the field of animal health. Old days are gone when we were making the diagnosis on the basis of symptoms and giving symptomatic treatment. We used to read everything about a disease, but when it came to the symptomatic treatment, now the time has come when the value of animals has gone as high as 7 crore for one buffalo bull. And horses are costly. The dogs are becoming so prized of the owners, they are so emotionally attached. So people's paying capacity is increasing, and then they also need the quality services, quality practices, and quality treatment. And to give that, we need to equip ourselves with these newer technologies of artificial intelligence and diagnostics and devices and rational treatment. Believe me that young ones who are working on technologies, they are reversing the traditional myth and practices, and things are coming very, very well. So to stimulate thinking among the audience, I have to share some of the ideas that that I use to connect with the modern technologies. See this example. Those who are wearing glasses, they have very frequently visited their ophthalmologist, eye doctor, and what they do, they take the retina very close to us, and then they peep through the passage to the retina. What they see whether the vasculature is okay, whether the retina attachment is okay, or is detached, or there is scar or anything. So they just see 3-4 things, and then they find it's okay or not okay, and give the information to the patient, to us, and then recommend some treatment for that. But what the Google has done, they have of the retina from millions of people all over US, Europe, and some developing countries as well. And they have analyzed that information. It's too big a job, but they have done it. And they have come up with the idea that this Google AI scan of the retina can be used for diagnosis of disease of heart, brain, pancreas, etc. Astonishing, wonderful. Nobody knew the retina will reflect these things of the heart, brain, or pancreas. Forecast the heart attacks, brain dysfunction, diabetes. So it gives a forewarning that someone who has such type of retinal reflection might have attack in very near future. So he or she can take appropriate preventive measures or appropriate treatment in the hospital. आंख चेक करवाने जाएं और पता चल जाए कि 10-15 दिन में, महीने 2 महीने में हार्ट अटैक होने वाला है. What else we need? With that Google AI scan, the diagnosis of condition of cardiovascular system, gastrointestinal and respiratory system of animal should become economic, practical. हमारी प्रॉब्लम ये है कि हमारे एनिमल्स हमें कुछ नहीं बता रहे हैं. It's only owner saying it, and owner is not trained to closely observe, interpret, and report properly. He gives very vague statements. That's my experience of working in the clinics for so many years as full-timer or the part-timer over there. They give very vague information, that information many times dependable also, but can give that information. And examining the retina of a cow, buffalo, cat, or dog is not a difficult thing. I know a little bit of restraint will be required, but once the animal is properly restrained and you have the proper equipment, you can examine. These are the human equipments. Why can't we have such things in veterinary practice? Definitely they will come. It depends upon our innovators, our polymaths, our assistant professors, and PhD students bring this revolution in veterinary practice. It can be tomorrow, 2 years down the road, or maybe 10 years if we go very, very slow. But these things are already being employed on experimental stages at veterinary clinics abroad. Second technology which I wanted to connect to you, and which is of direct relevance to we veterinarians and farmers who are maintaining large animals also. The Microsoft, that giant in its own field, has collaborated with MoveFarm, and they are using the smartphone cameras to build, where they take the snapshots from different angles of the udder, and then that Microsoft image labeling technology will detect the presence of or absence of mastitis. Dr. Nilesh has done work on mastitis, and I know and he knows how difficult it is to differentiate whether it is subclinical mastitis or not. Clinical mastitis, anybody can do it, but subclinical mastitis is different. And we use all those methods and procedures. Subclinical mastitis is there or not. Imagine those days when Microsoft image labeling technology will be available to us, and we take a few snaps of that udder of the animals, and that tells us, okay, this is going to be mastitis. I'm looking forward to that era when these things come. And there is also this many applications already there for identification of the animal, which is a difficult thing in the large farms. Animal को जाके पकड़ो, उसके कान में उसका नंबर, उस काऊ का नंबर क्या है, उसकी क्या एज है, क्या उसका लैक्टेशन स्टेटस है. It becomes really difficult. और उनमें से with chronic symptom or little disease, it becomes very difficult to pick up those animals and treat them when they are in herd, in large organized forms. So this type of software for identification, for the posture analysis, for the breath quality, for the rumination status, and all other physiological things like urination, defecation, and drink properly or swallow properly, or the breath quality, all this type of information can be initially fed to the application. Application is now ready, and then you just take a photo from a distance of that animal, and then this app will tell you what is the status of this cow or this animal is eating or ruminating or is having some problem or has taken the food properly or has given the milk properly or there's any difficulty in these things. So these some of these applications are already available. Why not we take the lead? Why not we take the plunge into this ocean of artificial intelligence and do our little bit for the contribution? This topic is very favorite to my heart. We all are feeling that we should be able to understand what the animal wants to convey. This is really very, very difficult if we are doing on our own experience only. This can be done if we have IT-enabled applications, and those AI experts can conceive this type of application. Once we give the information in that application that if the animal is making this much sound, we made a diagnosis, we made the ultrasound, and if the animal died, what we did the postmortem, animal sounds are recorded, and then final diagnosis is recorded, and give both this information to this application. So this application would then analyze these things. We may say the animal was breathing or producing sounds, but we can't actually reproduce. And fed to the smart devices, we give that diagnosis, and to those experienced people who have worked in the animal treatment and welfare for decades and decades, those who have started understanding what the actually animal means. There are many people, owners who are keeping the animals, they know if the animal makes this type of sounds, what actually it wants, is hungry or is thirsty or is stressed or having some problem. So that all that type of data is to be taken out by data mining, fed to these applications, and maybe tomorrow, 10 days later or 10 years later, we'll have some application that you show that smart device, the animal picture and sound, and that translates into our language, Hindi, English, Tamil, or Telugu, whatever language we feed that smart device. This looks like a dream, this looks like an imagination, but many a times these sort of imaginations becomes the demand, a requirement, and then people start working and things come up, may not be very perfect, but those things can see the future of animal treatment, animal behavior, animal welfare in this type of applications if somebody wants to take up. Coming to some innovations in animal health is just to encourage you people that yes, innovations are coming up and they are path-breaking. Someone has already thought about it. For example, the extreme vaccines. There's one area where we all are concerned when there is or for that matter any disease, brucellosis, etc. Many times we try to put the blame on the failure of the cold chain, that the vaccines were not maintained in the cold chain, vaccine has gone bad and has not been effective. So what if we have something, a vaccine which is stable for weeks and weeks together at 50 degrees Celsius, that's the maximum temperature Indian conditions, ambient temperature can go up to that. So if the vaccine is stable outside the refrigerator, you can carry without taking a refrigerator. So that is a big achievement if that's going to happen. And this will overcome some of the major issues related to storage and stability of the vaccine. The possibilities could expand even further with the introduction of vaccine in the form of tablets, which will consequently eliminate the use of syringe. So you can prescribe, the owner can take the tablet and feed to the animal in its own way. So that will take out the pain of restraining the animal, injecting the animals at their doorsteps, and that's one major reason that all veterinarians are not able to vaccinate all the animals they are to serve. So the point of care diagnosis we have already discussed a little bit, and there is a tremendous progress going on in this field also. A diagnostic specialty firm has developed technology which automatically analyzes urine samples in few minutes. I remember for the last 2 decades, we in veterinary medicine or pathology department have ignored the urine, saying that urine se kya pata chalega. But believe that urine can reflect, analysis of urine can reflect many things as good as a blood sample. It's easy to collect, but only thing is it should be analyzed immediately, quickly, with less than 30 minutes. So point of care diagnostics, when the urine is passed by the animal, maybe a dog or a cow, and it is examined by using that particular device and can give a good information about the animal health much quicker than ever before. For BVSc and other serology, blood chemistry, etc., takes long time, and many times those figures are jungle of information, and many practicing veterinarians can't understand those things. Okay, what should we do if the SGPT is little high? But the urine examination by these devices will help you to reach that diagnosis immediately, quickly, and that will help, can help in taking the treatment, preventive or curative, whatever. So third thing which has coming up in a big way is digital innovation in the health. Digital innovation in livestock farming is improving the efficiency and contributing significantly to animal health and well-being. There has been a proliferation of health apps for smartphone to monitor both fitness and well-being. And this trend has led to development of apps that help farmers to take care of their farm animals. This is the example. I'm not marketing this app, but giving an example that this BCS CowDition, that's the name of that application. That app helps the farmers to accurate of dairy cows and detect possible metabolic diseases early with just a few snapshots of each animal. This application is already available. Another application for the pigs is a BCS CowDition, and this app helps pig farmers with similar challenges, enabling them to easily store, track, and analyze their sows and herd health objectively in one tool. These apps synchronize with the farm management, the software, to provide an overview of the entire herd and its health status, as well as individual animals, further simplifying the farmer veterinarian consultation. So this type of applications can be taught to the owners of the, and they can do those preliminary things and consult the veterinarian, and veterinarian will be empowered with a good information, dependable information. Another thing where they have gone to Africa is VetAfrica-Ethiopia. That's another application, and this helps the farmers and veterinarians to diagnose livestock on the spot, receive information on proper medication to be administered, and share information through cloud software so that illness can be tackled and monitored. This is going to help a lot the farmers and the veterinarians as well. For example, someone wants to consult Dr. Naresh only or Dr. Galdhar only, and they are really busy. They can't go to the farm. They can't go to the. So this type of applications can be taken by some junior veterinarians or para-veterinary staff or even the trained owners, and they can bring this information to the specialist, Dr. Galdhar or Dr. Naresh, and those people can give their opinion. They can give their diagnosis and prescribe the right medicine. The fourth area where the innovations have helped a lot and are on the way, this is precision livestock farming. This may not be of direct use to people of veterinary medicine. For management, is really very, very important. This precision livestock farming application, this uses the biosensors and machine-to-machine technology to continuously and automatically monitor the health, productivity, and reproduction of livestock. These integrated systems allow farm animals to be observed 24 hours a day, all 7 days of the week, through a wide variety of monitoring devices and sensors that are becoming increasingly affordable and are becoming advanced. No doubt they are a little costlier at the moment, but tomorrow they will be very affordable for the large farm owners. And with these devices which we are talking about, these include the livestock variables such as e-tags, which clip on cow's ear and constantly measure the body temperature. It's not one time a day or one time a week. It continuously measures the body temperature, and then to Bluetooth enable sweat monitoring strips that can measure level of sodium, potassium, and glucose in the animals. So that strips are variable. E-tags can continuously measure the body temperature, and then they can also analyze the sweat for sodium, potassium, glucose level, and this information is available continuously to the owner or to the veterinarian serving those animals. The ability to constantly monitor health of our farm animals means that precision livestock farming also has the potential to improve animals' well-being across from animal feed supplier to livestock transportation. So when the animals are being transported and the chips are there, they are giving information whether animals are going into stress or not, whether animals feeling normal, and what is their health status. This type of information. Seventh area, which I found fascinating and we have talked a little bit about in our previous slide, is animal identification. This artificial intelligence virtually and really can help the dairy farmers to identify each and every animal of their herd. An Irish startup has developed a platform that can identify animals by their features in seconds, matching their profile to data on their movements, water intake, behavior, etc., etc. So all these features they can identify. This artificial intelligence then produces analytics to make on-farm decisions on production, reproduction, and the overall health. These applications then will suggest that these animals are in a reproductive cycle, or they are producing this much, how much feed is to be given, where they should be kept in shelters before the parturition. This type of information will automatically, like a message, will go to the manager or the owner or the veterinarian, and suitable methods and processes can be adopted for the welfare of the animal. This is the name of the company, Canthus. The startup that has developed the software recently received an equity investment from multinational company Cargill. We all know Cargill is a big company and doing some feed business. This technology may soon be available to farmers. If the Cargill is investing money in that startup which has produced this animal identification software, that means this facility, this application is going to be available in the market very soon. Then the oral delivery of vaccine is really very, very important. And innovation in developing this vaccine, which can be delivered orally as an alternative to labor-intensive hand injection, is the required. And for saving the veterinarians time and energy from simply going to door trade, and then they have time to think about new things and new practices and new strategies to control the diseases in many other ways. This oral delivery would be a boon in terms of efficiency and ease of use. Yesterday, we also heard in brucellosis, the man was telling the micro-encapsulation, where tiny particles of droplets are surrounded by a coating to create small capsules, and bio-encapsulation, where medicines are incorporated into living host organisms and then fed, are two examples of better delivery system. जैसे कि आज के दिन भी हम प्रोबायोटिक्स या कुछ स्ट्रेप्टोकोकस फेकैलिस नाम का जैसे organisms हैं, those help in our digestive system. So those bacteria or microbes can be given some sort of medicine and vaccine particles, and then we feed that. So it is doing double purpose. It's doing probiotic effect and it's vaccine to the animal body immune system. Okay, if Rajesh is there, thanks Rajesh. He was the first person who talked about medical devices, how to optimize. And for next 10 minutes, we have here before the closure of this webinar. So I will take 10 minutes to thank him and then present his initial idea of stethoscope, which we took it further and have done some work on it. And specific diagnosis is needed to control diseases and get optimum and sustainable production from animals. And the non-availability of animal-specific medical devices makes job of veterinarian more challenging, particularly in the farm animal practice. This is the first thing which is token of our being a doctor. We keep it around our neck, telling people that yes, we are doctors. But how many times we have used it, how good it has been to give us the information regarding the visceral sounds which we can listen through it. The stethoscope is not customized according to veterinary needs. Most of the stethoscopes which are used by veterinarians are generally human-specific, and so-called the veterinary-specific stethoscopes available in market are nothing but have minor modification of human-specific models, and at the best can be used to examine dogs only. I had a practical experience of this type of stethoscopes, and they are very difficult if we wanted to auscultate and listen the visceral sounds of a buffalo. Not taking you to this video is someone is saying that okay, stethoscope days are gone, and they have actually devised an ultrasonography equipped small which they put on the animals, and they can see the position of different organs, size, the pathological condition, etc. So what we are recommending now, as Dr. Rajesh told me, the size and shape of the diaphragm should be changed with incorporation of noise reduction systems. There can be, I talked to the professor over here who is specializing in medical devices. They have the filters and they can put the filters in. So when we moving that animal, the noise made by the friction of hair and skin, and those sounds have a certain wavelength. So those filters can block that sound. So the sound which comes from that diaphragm, through that diaphragm, are actually the visceral sounds. So that gives a lot of leverage that we are listening to the visceral sounds. We are auscultating and listening the sounds of the body or the organs we are examining. then we are suggesting that there should be a Bluetooth enabled wireless transmission of sound, and which is required to overcome the animal mobility and doctor safety issues. Believe me, when I was doing the auscultation in veterinary clinic to demonstrate to the students what was happening, my half of the attention was on the horn and head of the animal, so that I can prevent myself from the injuries if the animal reacts or moves. So half the attention was there. So the tube was not very long, and then I was keeping in my ear, and then I'll take it from my ears and give it to the student and try to tell him that this type of sounds are coming. And those sounds I used to reproduce from my mouth or my whispers. Students I know were unable to, and many times they just wanted to get away and say, yes, yes, sir, yes, sir, only. The matter of the fact is the stethoscope we have is not actually for demonstration. Tube have the only diaphragm. We put a Bluetooth, and that Bluetooth can transmit that information, digitalize it, and we can store in our smart device like laptop or smartphone. So that's this information, digitalized information of the sound of the visceral organs is stored, so that can be referred again and again to listen that, or to tell to the students, okay, these are the sounds and what it means, whether it is coming from a frictional sound or pleural sounds, or if the heart is surrounded by a lot of fluid, as happens in pericarditis cases. So those information are recorded, and then we are correlating it with other diagnostic features, and then we can send it to some expert also if someone is sitting at a faraway place. So then we have a digitalized form of those sounds, which we can share with others and can discuss for the purpose of teaching, or training, or referrals. So that becomes the beauty. All these smart things which measure the blood pressure, they are again for human beings, and they have been in the market for more than 100 years, but still none of them is suitable for human beings. It's 1881, the first BP monitor was discovered, but still I believe, and you may confirm it, that we don't have a suitable BP apparatus for animals. So we think monitoring of animal blood pressure is not important. It is actually very important, particularly when we are doing surgical procedure, or when we are restraining or giving anesthesia or performing some invasive procedures on the animals. The animal gets frightened, and heartbeat may go high, blood pressure may go high, or those animals which are fed a lot of carbohydrates go fatty, particularly dogs or the buffalo bulls, they become very fatty. They have blood pressure problems, which needs to be monitored. What to do that? Is we need to develop a ultrasonography based blood pressure monitor for animals use. When ultrasounds fall on artery, the arterial wall gets a little pressed, and this gets rebound by the pressure of the blood in the. So is the artery, the ultrasounds are falling on it, and then they causing little dent in the arterial wall. And arterial wall is very elastic and rebounds, and that rebound is actually depends upon the pressure of the blood inside. So this is really very easy. We have given this project to 4 students over here, and that's Nilesh. Okay, so we need to have this type of blood pressure monitor, which should have application in the animals, and it can be applied on an animal paw, tail, or foreleg of the animal. And there is a need for adjustable cuff size, and there is ample diversity our animals have, starting from a little cat to an elephant. The cuff must be of low weight, can be very, very useful. So we also need to digitalize our blood pressure monitor, same way as I explained in the stethoscope. Those information can be digitalized, stored in our smart devices, and the artificial intelligence enabled applications can help us in monitoring and then also recommending what should we do with this one. This I think time is over, so I'll try to finish it as soon as possible. This shows the mechanism how this ultrasound machine is going to measure the blood pressure. And then the final thing is the vital sign monitor, which records all the vital things in human beings. When someone is admitted to hospital, this type of monitors are there, which gives you information regarding the oxygen saturation. It's like 97%, temperature in Celsius, and blood pressure and heart rate and other things. So these things also need to be monitored in valuable animals. And those animals need to be given treatment under this type of monitor so that nothing adverse happens to those animals, even if there is some medicine which is giving some sort of reaction or allergy to the animal. And we need to, again, there are several ideas how we can modify these vital sign monitors in human beings, even ultrasounds. I know almost all the veterinary institutions in India have the ultrasonography, but I know the difficulties they are facing in using those ultrasound machines and have the limited application like in pregnancy diagnosis, etc. These ultrasound machines can be used specifically for making diagnosis of and the position and the status and pathological condition of heart, liver, pancreas, kidneys, and so on and so forth. But using those now, the bio-nanotechnologies, we can increase the portability of these ultrasound machines, which can be taken. And I've seen some certain videos which I wanted to share with you, but those machines are actually so small. Is as bigger mobile phone set, and they are using it with a small attachment at different places, and this mobile screen is showing the condition of heart pumping and the kidneys, and they are applying it for dogs only, for pet animals, but maybe tomorrow these things will be available for large animals as well. So we need to inculcate the habit of exploring these things, making these things possible, and if they are there, we try to use them, implement them, and then do it. Then imaging databases, teaching and clinical practice, that's really very important. We should have done it. So thank you so much, Jai Hind, and Nilesh, I'm open to the questions, and I encourage people to ask questions regarding this.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Nilesh, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. We are really thankful to Rakha, sir, for his informative lecture and suggesting we as a clinician about new horizon which can be used in veterinary diagnostics and to predict the diseases, diagnostics and prediction of the diseases. So by listening to your lecture, we can now have better vision for diagnosis of the diseases and to decide the prognosis of the clinical cases. Thank you very much, sir. There are certain questions from FB Live also, Facebook Live, and from our audience who are participated and attending this webinar. There is one question from Dr. Sarodhar Singh Rathod. He is willing to ask, is there Indian software for artificial intelligence for animals is available in India right now?
Yes, some of these applications are available, and they are marketing it in India as well, and we can buy it. If you want some specific, you can email to you the right persons who can provide that information.
Again, sir, there is one question from Dr. Raju Kumar. He has listened very carefully, sir. and he is willing to ask any negative impact of this.
Doctor, you can mute all others because a lot of echo is coming.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello. Am I audible?
You are audible, doctor. Please speak.
Yeah. There's a lot of echo. I could not understand the last question you were asking. Can you say it again?
Dr. Galdhar, you are muted.
Dr. Galdhar?
Am I audible now?
Yeah.
Yes.
So, is there any negative impact of this AI on veterinarian or veterinary clinical practice?
Negative effects, yes, there are many negative effects. They become really actually addictive. The negative effect of WhatsApp and Facebook, and we are spending so much time on those social media. So I don't think there's any side effect. Just to for a humor or for a lighter aspect, yes, people becomes addicted. Thinking के अगर ये एप्लीकेशन ही डायग्नोस्टिक कर देंगे तो हमारी इंपॉर्टेंस कहाँ रहेगी? So those type of feelings are unbiased. Sorry, they are biased and not true. And there is no side effect of this application in veterinary practice. There are only benefits. Degree of benefit will depend how much we use and how good these applications are. Say some Chinese-made little oximeters are available in the market, which will tell oxygen saturation. Go for a big monitor, this says 97%. So those type of kits which are not good, which are not dependable, we need to be aware of those things, the kits, the diagnostics. For example, the Rajasthan government returned those COVID-19 kits. So those kits and those applications which are not good need to be known to veterinarian as well, and then they should be avoided. That's only the and careful selection of those applications and the devices. Otherwise, artificial intelligence is going to help us a lot, because many times we really fail to make the right diagnosis, because if someone misses one point, then diagnosis may be difficult or different or little different or completely wrong. But artificial intelligence, that machine or that smart device will take into account all the aspects, all the factors, which will definitely be much better diagnosis than human ones. That's what I know about artificial intelligence enabled applications.
Okay. Sir, being a clinician, we used to have some diagnosis at farm level. For example, you are sitting at some place and your farm is at a remote place. And from that remote place, if we want to have some blood analysis and other thing, okay, during that time, we are unable to get any help from clinical pathology point of view. So that question, how we can solve, sir? Because, for example, some parasitic infections, especially skin infection clinical cases are there. In that, it is needed that at least skin scraping can be undertaken, or it can be sent to the laboratory for investigation, so that appropriate treatment can be planned there. So how, sir, it means you will guide practicing clinician about this particular use of AI in our veterinary clinical practice, sir?
Yes, that's the bestest example we should start with is like skin diseases, because you know how sarcoptic mange and seroptic mange will make the lesions, and if there are some mice there, how the skin should look like, and we can physically see those. So we need not to go to that farm. We can request the animal owner, the manager of that farm, to take pictures and share with us, and those pictures immediately he puts into that application. And then that application also, it makes its own interpretation, and then they will show you the right type of pictures and suggesting the artificially intelligent artificial intelligence enabled that application will give you a list. I think to be this or this, and final decision is up to you. So that's one by taking the pictures only. Then it comes to making a very actual diagnosis whether this is sarcoptic mange or sauroptic mange, and you need to take the skin scraping. That has to be done physically, and that you can direct sitting at your own office or in your own clinic to another junior who has gone there, or the owner who has been trained, or a paraveterinary staff to take those skin scrapings and bring it to. So every time you need not to go to those places, and those things can be handled by this type of application or artificial intelligence or the smart devices.
Sir, there is one question. Is there any app? Is there any app to record the clinical cases and other things?
Yes, there are several applications. They are too costly at present for clinical management of the records and interpretations and those things. And that's why I'm suggesting that our youngsters should come up applications. For example, the applications made in IIT Ropar for human health and related to COVID, they are costing even less than 1,000 rupees. And if you buy those applications from US, where they have developed, they are asking for $15,000. So here we need to develop our own applications. This CowDition and SowDition application I mentioned here, they're asking for $25,000. So this type of demanded companies are really unaffordable at the moment in India. So we are suggesting that, okay, we should have collaboration with the technological institutes, with people in the IT field or AI field or biotechnology, nanotechnology. So we need to have collaboration. We veterinarians are doing wonderful. Believe me, we veterinarians will be in great demand as the One Health issues are getting prominence. But at the same time, we need to come out. Our departments go out and see, and this is not as, for example, I'm in IIT after serving 35 years in a veterinary institutions, but this is the real time. If Nilesh and Dr. Galdhar has gone good at the social media, they are now organizing webinars sitting at our place, maybe hundreds of audience from their own convenience and comfortable zones are attending. Earlier in February this year, we went to Bangalore, taking all the way there, one day going 3 days ISVM, in which only like 5 or 6 hours of fruitful interactions were going on a day. So why hundreds of people took trouble to reach there and come back and are having so difficult time. So this is one example that you people in ISVM, executive body and others have taken this technology, IT technology, have imbibed into it, and they are free of cost, and you're doing it. Likewise, and other applications which are in the market, which are there. So if our youngsters take up those issues and start doing some work, definitely they will become much cheaper. And there are people who can do it. But say, for example, a professor of computer sciences who is next door to me, he knows those things, but he needs someone to give the data. Only a veterinarian can give the data. So here comes our importance, and here comes our need. People are there to help. They can make those things. For example, when we were doing this UVC radiation technology, we didn't have a software. Since there was a need, people were after us, they were asking money for consultancy services. Then we requested someone, and do you know who was that someone? My own son. But he didn't have any information, he didn't have knowledge, he was not from biology background, or he was just a software engineer. He knew that how to do the coding, and he did it in 3 hours. We can sell that software for anything we want to. These are things are not so difficult that we should not imagine. We should try. People are trying, and I foresee a renewed interest in our youngsters who are very friendly with the internet and Google and the social media and this application. Only thing they require is that they should know what type of data to be given to a person who is doing the coding. Even some veterinarians have taken MSc degree in coding and computer sciences, and they are doing it. I know one person in Punjab who is doing, he was 2 years junior to me. After retirement, he's full time into it. So what my lecture actually meant was that I should motivate the youngsters to think innovatively, think of what is going to be the need. अगर एक डॉग आपके क्लिनिक में आ रहा है, उसकी फोटो पहले ही ली गई, उसकी बैक हिस्ट्री आपको उसमें ऑलरेडी फीड कर दी गई है, वेटनेरियन will only spend maybe investing 2 or 3 minutes to make the final diagnosis and give the prescription instead of struggling with that animal for an hour or so. So these applications are really going to be very helpful, and then youngsters have to come up, and many of these applications are already available, and I know the resources, and if someone is interested, you can email me or write on my YouTube channel, and we'll respond to that. If some people or some audience are interested, they can go to the YouTube, find my channel in the name of Dr. Rakha, subscribe it, and there are many good things regarding this as well, where some ideas are given. Mainly the channel is educative, gives some sort of information on happiness, motivation, and then also on the coronavirus veterinary specific topics. So maybe I can request all the audience to at least visit there, subscribe it, and give your valuable comments or put the questions, and we will answer that.
Thank you, sir. I again request audience, so if they have any questions, they can directly contact with sir also, or if they have any questions, they can drop in Dropbox. I will collect all the questions and communicate to Rakha, sir. Okay?
I will be more than happy to interact at a later date to answer the queries if I actually know the information.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Sir, at last, I would like to request our Honorable Vice President of Indian Society for Veterinary Medicine, Dr. A.P. Singh, sir, to come up for vote of thanks for today's webinar. A.P. Singh, sir, please.
Good evening,
Can
everyone.
I see A.P. Singh, my friend? Yes.
Yes, sir. Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening. How are you?
I'm fine, sir. I'm fine. I'm delighted that a chance has been given to me for vote of thanks.
A.P. Singh, sir, good evening. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Yes.
Good evening. I am highly thankful to Professor Dr. N.K. Rakha, an eminent person of our society who has delivered a very good lecture on artificial intelligence. So he has provided a lot of good information regarding artificial intelligence and its application to field of veterinary. It is great to see that all the technologies and researches which are going to be beneficial to veterinary stream. So for this, at this occasion, thanks to all my members who have attended and participated in this meeting. And my sincere thanks to our ISVM team members who have made this webinar successful. Especially to Professor Dr. Ramprabhu, then Dr. Galdhar, Dr. Naresh, who have worked a lot for this successful event. And once again, thanks to all.
Thank you very much, sir. Before concluding today's webinar, there is one notice for our all participants. On 18th of this month, we are also organizing one webinar. The title of the webinar is Impact of COVID-19 Pandemic on Veterinary Education, and this webinar will be delivered by Professor Dr. Seshendranath, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Kerala Veterinary and Animal Sciences University. And this topic Indian Society for Veterinary Medicine has chosen has really have a importance considering the current pandemic is concerned. So I request all the participants to register for this webinar and make the webinar grand success as you have made this webinar as a grand success. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you again.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Let's say bye.
Thank you, sir. Bye, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye. Take care.
Thank you, one and all.
Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.